I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida, Central Florida, you know what I'm saying, Murder Island.
Certain part of St. Pete you represent?
Just like 13th Heights, you know what I'm saying, 9th Street, that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying.
You still live in St. Pete?
No, I live like in between like Tampa and like on the outskirts, you know what I'm saying. I try to get away from the area, but.
How old were you when you made that move?
I just made that move.
Oh, very
recent. I just made that move because of the music thing, you know what I'm saying. It's starting to do it, you know what I'm saying. So I just made that move. Like, you can't really be hanging around and doing stuff like you used to do, you know what I'm saying, the brain start or whatever. My peoples tell me, you know what I'm saying, like, can't really be in the hood like that because, you know what I'm saying, plus niggas be hating and shit, you know what I'm saying, so it can't really be around like that.
Making a decision like that, have people from St. Pete looked at you differently? Like, oh, he left us, or he's Hollywood now, he's not over here anymore, or maybe you've abandoned them, or?
Like, I didn't, like, abandon them. Like, I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to stay, you know what I'm saying, stay working, stay on the road, stay going, you know what I'm saying? But I do come back, like, my mama and everybody's still there, you know what I'm saying? So I still come back, you know what I'm saying? I just don't do the unnecessary stuff like the parties and hanging on the block, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't left, you know what I'm saying? There ain't really shit going on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm. Now, just curious, when it comes to music, you being in St. Pete, how far are you from Miami?
I'm about 4 hours from Miami.
And how far are you from Atlanta?
About 8, about 8 or 9 hours.
When it comes to music industry, music business, you'll hear of New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta. You being only 8 hours away, was there ever a thought, maybe I should move to Atlanta? It's a big capital for music industry, business.
I mean, a lot of dudes choose to up and run to Atlanta, Miami, and all this other stuff. But me personally, I kind of feel like if you can't make it home, you can't make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you can't make it where you at or your state, then you ain't got no, cause it's 1,000,001 rappers. You know what I'm saying? 1,000,000 people start rapping every day. You know what I'm saying? They do the same thing. So if you can't do what you need to do where you at, if you can't even, you know what I'm saying, get a little buzz or whatever, then, you know what I'm saying, no need to doing all that. But I did have a thought, like, cause my peoples were trying to move me out, like, to out here to Atlanta, like, cause a lot more going on, you know what I'm saying. Back home, there ain't really no room for the music, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like dry, so.
And if you didn't want to go to Atlanta, maybe Atlanta's a big step for some people from a smaller city. Maybe Miami could have been maybe more suited because it's maybe not a musical capital as Atlanta is, but it's still a big major city in itself for people that get hostings and shows and so on and so forth.
I mean, I think Miami would be a good move because I still be in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't be out of Florida where, you know what I'm saying? First you got to do your surroundings, then your state, then the world, you know what I'm saying? So Miami would still be a good move, so I still could tackle Florida how I want to, you know what I'm saying? But I think Atlanta just would be too, you know, it's too much of a shit.
Now, growing up for you in St. Pete, what was that like? Can you paint that picture for us?
Growing up in St. Pete, it was kind of just like, it was kind of just frustrating because, you know what I'm saying, like, I didn't know what route that I should take to live how I want to live. Like, before I saw far in the music, like, growing up in St. Pete just kind of made me, like, sad and down all the time. Like, damn, I'm forced to do this because I know how I want to live. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't go off to school and do this because people go off to school and go to college, come back to the city and be fucked up. And then all the people I came up around, they sold dope, played in the street, and them boys went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Them boys passed away. So I know what come from that shit, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I also saw them boys drive nice cars, you know what I'm saying? Big chains and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of frustrating coming up in St. Pete because it's like, you don't know which way to go, you know what I'm saying? You know which way to move, and it's so small, so, you know what I'm saying? Everything right there in your face, you know what I'm saying?
Was it a rough upbringing?
like for me, it at first, like when I was a jit, like no, I was straight. Cause my dad was like, you know what I'm saying, real street nigga. So everything was just peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying? Nigga had the money and shit. So, you know what I'm saying, he kept us, you know what I'm saying, we didn't really have to go through no shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything was sweet. Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Everything was sweet. School clothes, everything, you know what I'm saying? But then we went to prison and my mama moved us, you know what I'm saying? Shit was kind of, you know what I'm saying, you start recognizing and understanding. Moms did a shit now, you know what I'm saying? But you see shit a little different, like Christmas ain't the same, you know what I'm saying? Shit kind of, you know what I'm saying? Grandma got to step in and all kind of shit. But, and then as you get older, you know what I'm saying, I'm so used to, you know what I'm saying, the new J's, the this, that, and the other. And then you coming up around the niggas who my age hustling, they got all this. You know what I'm saying? I miss that shit. Like, damn, but I used to have them J's too. You know what I'm saying? Now them niggas in the hallway with the new shit on, you like, damn, boy, I gotta get right. You know what I'm saying? The niggas, you know what I'm saying? So coming up, it's kind of like confusing. You know what I'm saying? You'll get lost real fast, you know what I'm saying? Caught up in the wrong shit before you even know it.
Were your parents together? Was it a two-parent household before he went to prison?
Nah.
They were separated?
I mean, they weren't separate. They was still, you know, he was still coming through. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, you know what I'm saying, he had moved out. He was doing his own thing.
How old were you when he moved out? Do you remember?
Like, he ain't never leave my life or no shit. Like, he still with Pops. You know what I'm saying? But I can't really remember, bro. You know what I'm saying, how old I really was. But I was in like elementary school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How old were you when he went to prison?
Elementary school, like right before middle school. Like that's when he came. Like that's when he left.
How much time did he serve in prison?
6 years.
For what?
I'm in school. I used to look his shit up, like look his name up on the internet. Like I know he had like marijuana possession, attempted murder, tampering with state witness, shit like that. Like, and I used to like look his name up on like Google and shit, and my teacher be like, man, what you looking at? Shit right in my agenda, like I don't know if y'all want to be looking at this kind of stuff, but then what he looking at in school, you know what I'm saying? And my mom be like, stay off the internet, you know what I'm saying?
How did you deal with those 6 years while he was gone? Obviously, you kind of described how, you know, maybe the luxuries that you had of clothes and this and that and the third, sweet Christmases and stuff,
Yeah.
that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But aside from material stuff, how did you cope with him not being around?
I mean, like,
almost like
I never really got to cope with it. Like, that was parts, like, he used to, like, he showed me game, still to this day, like, that's just what he do. Like, he give me game, tell me a lot of stuff, inform me on a lot of things, so I couldn't really cope with it because, you know what I'm saying, his presence, you know what I'm saying, it was obvious he was gone. Like, it wasn't one of them things, like, you just could forget about, like. And then, but he used to call home, you know what I'm saying, so we used to go visit him. Like, moms used to take us way a lot to go see him, you know, so 3-4 hour rides, you know what I'm saying, so it was kind of, but I didn't never really, like, get over it, like, the Pop's gone, like, nah.
Not get over it, but how did you deal with it, with those 6 years of his absence?
Just, like, conversating, like, phone calls, mail, you know what I'm saying, I used to write Pop, you know what I'm saying, Pop write me, you know what I'm saying, he write all my brothers and sisters, he writing all us, you know what I'm saying, calling.
And you did have some actual visits?
Yeah, we used to go see him, yeah.
State prison?
State prison, yeah.
So you maintained a good, close relationship with him throughout those 6 years?
Yeah, definitely. Like as much as I can, like, you know what I'm saying, like, writing him, like, twice a month. He'll call every other week, you know what I'm saying, so.
Was there another male figure in your life during all this, or no?
Definitely. Actually, when my pops went to prison, my Uncle Derek took me in, like, because they were cool. Like, they were like brothers. My Uncle Derek took me in, but then it fucked me up because then Uncle Derek went to prison. So then I was just around, like, all the women who kept the dudes I looked up to strong, like my mama, my Auntie Joy, you know what I'm saying, my grandma, my nana. I was around them kind of people, you know what I'm saying, who helped these dudes, you know what I'm saying, become the man they is. So, but my Uncle Derek definitely, like, he was a male figure in my life, you know what I'm saying, but then he went to prison.
How far into the 6 year term while your dad was gone did he actually land in prison himself?
He left like the next year. And
Pretty
he did,
fast.
Yeah, he did. He did like 10. He just came on there now.
Do you remember seeing your dad for the first time after he returned into the Free Society?
Yeah, my mom had moved us out the hood and moved us to like the 50s. And I rode my bike. No, we was in Coquina Key. I rode my bike all the way to my grandma's house. Like, cause everybody in the hood, I was already over there and they were like, boy, they say your daddy come home today, boy. They say, you know what I'm saying? The whole hood was already talking about it. Everybody was out there on the block, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, when I got home from school, nigga, I just got on my bike, rode all the way to my grandma's house, and I saw like everybody standing out on the block all happy and shit. So I went to my grandma's house, you know what I'm saying? That nigga was right there. So that shit felt good, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that nigga really home. Like, that shit crazy.
Was it emotional?
Like, nah, cause whenever he used to call, he'd be like, no, I'm coming home, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming home. He used to always tell me about a month, like, I got 100-some months left. Oh, yeah, I got 56 months left. I'll be, you know what I'm saying? So that shit used to.
Was it awkward?
I mean, it was, cause when he left, I was kind of young, you know what I'm saying? So the relationship we did have, it kind of, the face-to-face relationship we had, it stopped. And I was over the phone and through the mail. So when he first came, I had to like get back used to the, you know what I'm saying, like him, like, nah, nigga, you can't go there. Like, nah, you can't do that. Like, I had to get back used to that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying.
So safe to say, when he came back home, he treated you like a parent-son relationship, not a friend-to-friend relationship.
Definitely, like, but what I mostly appreciated, like he eased on into it. Like, he wasn't like, he ain't jump right in here, like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? But he definitely was like parent and friend. Like that's my dog. Like, when he came home, like, I already knew how to drive, you know what I'm saying, cause shit in the street. But like, you know what I'm saying, he used to let me drive his females' cars and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, he just put me in a car with him and just talk to me, show me how to, you know what I'm saying, take care of your shit. You know what I'm saying, take your clothes to the cleaner. Like, he showed me a lot of shit. When he first came home, he just took me up under his wing, like, gave me a lot of game on shit.
Let's say somebody's watching this interview and they have a parent doing a bid, a serious prison bid, right? Mm-hmm. Could be 5 years, could be more than that. Mm-hmm. Circumstances could be different for everybody. But any general advice, maybe son or daughter that has to deal with their parent doing a long stretch of time, anything you would say?
I mean, you just gotta, like, if you got a relationship with that parent, you know what I'm saying, you just don't, for one, don't forget about them, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to just like live like they there, like, cause me, where I fucked up at, like, when my daddy left, you know what I'm saying, I started doing wild shit, you know what I'm saying? So, and that kind of fuck them up, cause like they behind the wall, like, damn, if I was there, that shit'd never happen, you know what I'm saying? So, just advice, like, treat them, like, give them respect, like, don't be doing like crazy ass shit while they in there, like, just chill, like, make them proud, you know what I'm saying? Make them, cause they already behind the wall, you know what I'm saying? So just give them some shit to, like, be happy about, like, report cards and shit. Like, my pops, like, when I used to get, like, fucked up report cards in school, like, pops wouldn't even call, like, he'd be like, man, nigga, you tripping, I don't want to talk to you. And get my, you know what I'm saying, talk to my sister. You know what I'm saying, that kind of shit, like, damn, I'm fucking up. So just my advice is, like, give them some shit to, like, be happy about, you know what I'm saying, even though they in a fucked up situation.
Earlier you mentioned, while he was gone, you got into some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Are we talking street activity as well?
Definitely.
Why?
Because, like, my pops, like I told you, like, when he was home, I had no reason to be in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like one of them dudes who just in the street because it's, you know what I'm saying, niggas trying to be cool. I was trying to, like, prevent my mama having to worry about me. Like, you don't gotta do my school clothes. I'm finna get right. You know what I'm saying? I was just always trying to think ahead. So when my dad was gone, I was just getting into shit about money. Like, I had tried to get a job and shit, but I was too young, you know what I'm saying, for a real job. So, like, look, a couple of niggas out the neighborhood were like, you know what I'm saying, like, breaking in cars. Like, them boys were hitting, like, 500, 600. Nigga like 13, you know what I'm saying? These niggas hitting. So when I used to see that, I used to be like, damn, but I'm trying to get right, boy, just 600, I'll be straight for school clothes. Probably give my mama a little something. So when Pops was gone, like, I definitely got into it. It was just the people I was hanging around, you know what I'm saying? that showed me a lot of the shit. Cause at first I had a plan like I'm gonna get this job, stack this cheese, but that shit wasn't where it was at. You know what I'm saying?
You're a kid. You're in elementary-ish territory here. It's not your responsibility to get
And you
clothes and do this and do that.
I remember when we was coming from out to eat, and my grandma had found a little weed sack in the bathroom, and my mama pulled me outside and took me downstairs like, that ain't your responsibility. Like, you ain't supposed to be worried about clothes and shit like that. Like, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? But I used to try to tell her like, man, I want a laptop, man. I want this, I want that. Like, if Pop was home, like, we would, you know what I'm saying? Cause they did their shit together. You know what I'm saying? They could have handled all that shit together, but Mom's told me that same shit. Like, she used to be preaching that shit to me like, you don't gotta worry about that. That ain't what you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You're a jit, just be a jit while you can. Yeah.
Now, you seeing what happened to your father and him going into that prison system, that didn't worry you? That didn't scare you off from, okay, breaking into cars and stuff, or little sacks of weed, that could lead up to a consequence like that.
Yeah.
That didn't throw you off from doing these types of activities?
I mean, it took for a lot more for me to understand like what they gonna do to your ass when they catch you. Like, a lot of my homeboys were starting to get fucked up, like sent to prison. Like, even though all the people I looked up to like was leaving, you know, I was like, man, them niggas old, man, them niggas been doing this shit. That what, you know what I'm saying? That what happened. I'm a young nigga, man, I'm straight. But a lot of my homeboys, them boys were getting fucked up off that shit, like getting sent to prison early, like we was jits. Like, that shit, like, I ain't talking about like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like niggas was really going to prison, like, or niggas was getting fucked up too, like breaking people's shit, getting shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, consequences really started, like, but it really took me to get fucked up, like, to understand, like, okay, you gotta, whenever you move out here, bro, it's a consequence for everything you do. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the things people will face if they indulge in street activity, certain stresses, that looking over your shoulder feeling.
Yeah, cause you out here taking people's shit, like, they gonna fuck you up by taking their shit. Like, that's what I had to understand, like, when I tell you about the consequences, like, you out here, you might ain't have to deal with the police, but you done stole this nigga baby mama car. You know what I'm saying? Y'all riding around playing, fucked up her tires, blew it in her shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga finna beat the shit out of you when he catch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga trying to jump in the cars and shit and hit for money. You taking people rent money, like, niggas gon'. So it's always like a look over your shoulder feeling, like, especially like, you know what I'm saying, when nigga don't call the police on you, nigga trying to kill you. Like, that shit done happen like a lot of times. And they ain't even trying to call the police, nigga trying to fuck you up.
Violence, of course, jail, prison time. Worst case, death.
Yeah. Definitely.
You've done incarceration.
Yeah.
What exactly?
I had ninth grade, I had like an armed burglary. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my dad already came home. But I had like an armed burglary, and like, they never really told me what that shit was. Like, when we in JDC, you can't really look up your charges, but like, the nigga tried to like niggas with a group of niggas there, like, they tried to like take my gun. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, how you gonna take a gun from a nigga with it? You know what I'm saying? You can't take a gun. Like, that shit ain't gonna go down like that. So I don't know if it was like deadly use of a firearm or whatever the shit was, but I had those two charges. But the nigga didn't press charges on me because, you know what I'm saying, like, nigga street nigga, so he ain't press charges on me, but the state kept trying to like pick my shit up, like, okay, he don't want to press charges, but we, you know what I'm saying, or however that shit worked, like, I ain't even understand what the fuck was going on, but the main shit they were trying to fuck me up about that armed burglary though, like, arm yourself, got hit for the gun in the house, so that like, you armed yourself in these people's house, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't really like grasp that, like your situation like fucked up, like, this a PBL, like, punishable by life, like, your charge, the most we can do to your ass is life sentence, like, you broken somebody else's shit and armed yourself. And they kept telling me, like, they push my court date back, and then they keep telling me, like, do you understand how serious this is? Like, this what could have happened. You know what I'm saying? This what would have happened. Like, what if this would have happened? Like, bitch could have came home and it would have been a shootout, like, all kind of shit. And that's when I started to understand, like, consequences in the street. Like, this shit ain't where it's at. For real.
So you were doing jail time while all this stuff was pending?
Yeah. Like, and that's what fucked it up, because I didn't have no, like, release date or no shit. Like, we were just banging out in court. Like, JDC, too. Like, that shit crazy.
How much time did you serve?
Like, when you're in a juvenile detention center, like, you can only do, like, 21 days. So when they get to my, like, 20th day and push it back, you know what I'm saying? So we bitch was doing, like, I don't even know how long I was in that bitch, bro. But they let me out on okay, the gun shit got dropped. And then they let me out on the ankle monitor and then brought me back. And then that shit crazy, bro. Like, just back and forth through that bitch. Like,
So you did house arrest?
Yeah, I did house arrest for a little minute, too. Like, I was going back and forth to school. Like, couldn't go nowhere. Like, stuck in the house. And still, at the same time, the shit not over with. Like, they still want to staffing, like a program, like you want to see. And they still, the judge talking about direct foul, all kind of shit. So it's not over with just because we let you out. Like, you on ankle monitor. And you still got to be the court. This shit ain't over, you know what I'm saying?
It's over now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what ended up happening? They dropped the gun charge, and what happened with whatever else was going on that was left over?
Like, that was my first time ever getting in trouble. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the system really try to, like, fuck you up. Like, they want you to think, like, shit sweet. So that way we can keep thinking, letting you think you can keep coming to JDC and we're going to let y'all come. But this time, nah, we done built you up as this bad person. Like, you're always in trouble, you're always this, always that. 7 years, nigga, prison. That's how they did a lot of my homeboys. That's how a lot of my dogs start going to prison. Like, they want you to think shit sweet, but they really gonna fuck you up. When your ass, you know what I'm saying, they gonna send your ass to prison, shit. You know what I'm saying? You keep going back and forth to that JDC shit, they gonna do it to your ass, you know what I'm saying? But me, I was lucky. My dad had just came home, and he sat me down and was like, man, listen, he came to see me, actually, and was like, bro, this shit you doing serious, bro. Like, your ass, they gonna send your ass to prison, bro. Like, you think that shit spooked me. You know what I'm saying? So, but they let me walk on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know what I'm saying? They were like, bro, your ass get in any trouble, boy. They gonna do it to your ass. Cause they want you, but you know what I'm saying? The state was like, they looked stupid in court, like, you know what I'm saying? He don't get in no trouble, he ain't never, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't none they could really, like, fuck me up about it. But they were talking about a program, but that shit ain't really.
I see. Any regrets with the street activity stuff that you went through?
I regret stealing from innocent people. Like, people get up and, like, once I became an adult and I don't know, all the people around me and you know what I'm saying, I started to look at life different, like, see people get up, go to work, come home, you know what I'm saying, get ready to do it next day. Like, once I started to understand how, like, life worked, I definitely, like, regret, you know what I'm saying, breaking in people's shit, you know what I'm saying, stealing people's shit. You know what I'm saying, like, that shit, like, them innocent working people, like, you just breaking in on people's shit, like, fucking up they day. They coming home and they shit gone, window bust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely regret doing that. Like, I wish I would have, like, been on some other kind of shit. Like, I don't regret, you know what I'm saying, trying to chase cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the, you know what I'm saying, weed and shit. But I regret breaking in people. And, like, innocent, hard-working people. Like, shit, like, taking their shit.
Has it happened to you? Have you been...
No. And that's what, like, I always tell myself, like, I want kids, you know what I'm saying? I want a family, like, when I get old and shit. But then I always think, like, what I done took people through. You know what I'm saying? I always think about that shit, like, every day. Like, sometimes when I go back to the city and I ride past houses, like, I done hit, I be like, damn, I just want to go knock on the door and be like, damn, my bad, bro. You feel me? Like, that shit fucked up. But, no, it ain't never happened to me. But that's what I think about that a lot. Like, it might, you know, a nigga might break in my car, poke my window or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a nice car now. You know what I'm saying? So a nigga might be thinking some shit in my shit. And ain't nothing in my shit, but a nigga done bust my window. Now I'm thinking like, damn, I gotta get this window fixed, but I ain't used to think like that. Like, man, we just bust that bitch, like, window, like, with a poker, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we ain't even hit for nothing. So just causing people problems. I regret that shit.
Is the nice car you have now the Bentley for the 80?
Nah. I got a beam like the Beamer. I got a nice BMW. You know what I'm saying? That 5% on that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward or what you got out of it on the street activity side of things?
You don't really like get no reward. Like you think you got a reward, but it's not worth it because of what come with it eventually. Like you gonna like you think you get away with some shit, you think you done, but it always come back and bite you in the ass. So and it wasn't worth it because, you know what I'm saying, the risk that you taking, like you putting your whole life on the line by some shit for some money you gonna spend in like an hour or some shit. You know what I'm saying, some shit you trying to get to look cool, clothes and shit. So it wasn't worth it.
What did your father think? What was his reaction when he found out his son's going to jail?
He was really like madder than a bitch, like. And then he kept telling me like, bro, you breaking in people's shit, like, bro, that's what junkies do, like, that's a crackhead move. Like, nigga, you breaking in houses, nigga, what the fuck kind of nigga you is? And I remember when I first got out, he had me with him like all week, and he'd take me to all his homeboys and be like, this dumb nigga breaking in houses, man. And the homeboys would be like, nigga, we got in the alley and grind for our shit, nigga, we ain't breaking no houses, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he just like, he was mad as hell, but he, you know what I'm saying, he did his best to make me understand. Like, that's why I look at it like that. Like, bro, you broke in innocent people's shit. You know what I'm saying? So he was mad as hell, but his main thing about that situation was getting me to understand, like, that shit not cool, bro. Like bro, you raised around hustlers, bro. We don't do shit like that.
You were in school, and you were doing your street activity at the same time. So you were 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Definitely, like all the time, like my main hitting spree, like it was like I leave, like we had exams, and like after exams you leave early. You know what I'm saying? So the time I had hit, like they used to let us out of school. Like I go hit some shit and just jump right back on the bus, like, and go home. Like backpack full of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say somebody's watching this, and maybe they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, just like you were. Circumstances could be different for everybody, but what would you say to a kid like that? 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in school.
Like you say, circumstances different, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation different. I can't tell a nigga leave the streets alone because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of niggas gotta do that kind of shit. You don't have to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? But some niggas, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in, you know what I'm saying, 50% this, 50% that. Nigga gonna do some shit, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, you know, go to school, you know what I'm saying? Even though they ain't gonna teach you shit for the real world. But, you know what I'm saying, do what you need to do. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell a nigga, you know what I'm saying, no bullshit. I'm gonna tell a nigga straight up, like, don't be halfway in, halfway out. Nigga, if you gonna do some shit, nigga. Fuck you halfway in, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do it, nigga, do it. Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Did you end up graduating high school or not?
Yeah, I graduated because I wasn't doing that shit no more. I was 100% in school doing it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna be coming to school then going, hitting when I can go to jail and catch a program and be gone for 6 months, then come back and have to start school all over. Like, that shit's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, I'm gonna chill with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Not 100% school, finish school. You know what I'm saying? Graduated, because what I'm waking up early morning to come to school for? Just to get out of school and go put my life on the line, my freedom on the line. Like, that don't even make no sense, bro. Like, bro, that what you do, nigga? What the fuck you waking up early morning and going to school for? Like, what is you doing?